Hey guys, it's Jeremy, and today we're going to be designing this medieval style castle ashtray from scratch using Autodesk Fusion. Now, even though I'm calling it an ashtray, you definitely don't have to use it as one. You could use this as desk decor, a dice holder, a display piece, or honestly just as a fun way to practice and improve your Fusion 360 skills. In this tutorial, we're going to be covering a bunch of really useful techniques like creating and modifying sketches, using emboss and deboss features to add stone textures, working circular patterns to speed up the design process, importing and working with SVG files, and a bunch of other little tricks along the way. The overall build is actually really simple once you break it down step by step, so whether you're brand new to Fusion or already have some experience, there should be something useful in here for you. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Okay, so to start things off, we're going to be downloading a few things, and I'll leave a link for everything that I'm talking about down in the description below. But we have these stone textures, which we're going to be using as SVG files here. So we have the stone door frame.svg, download, and this one's actually a PNG, and this is the stone wrap. And what I'm going to do here, let me go ahead and download it. We have a second site here that can convert JPG or PNG images into an SVG, and this is from Adobe. So let's go ahead and open this up. We have the stone wrap PNG. We're going to toss that in and give it a moment to convert. And when it's done, it looks pretty good. It looks just a little something like this. We can hit download, and that's it. So what we're going to do now is head over to Autodesk Fusion, and we'll get started. So if we want to start with our castle, the first thing we're going to do is create a new sketch. We're going to be using the top plane, and we're going to use the center diameter circle here. So from here, we're going to create the size of this, and this is where the fun part is. You guys can use whatever measurements that you want, but I'm going to go with 80 millimeters. And our castle needs to have some thick outer walls, so what I'm going to do is create another circle from the middle here. We're going to make it 100 millimeters. Now, if we press the I key, we can go from edge to edge here, and this is 10 millimeters, so I think that's good enough. Now, what we can do is hit the E key. This will extrude. And we're going to do, let's say, 50 millimeters. And now we have the rough shape of our castle. Now, this is where those SVGs come into place. Let me go to the front view. We're going to go insert up top, go to SVG, insert from my computer, it'll be in my downloads, and file SVG is, I think, what it is. And there it is. So now you can see we have our stone texture. It's massive and you need to resize it. This is kind of a guessing game on where you want it to be. So let's scale this down a little bit. I think we'll go maybe, I don't know, right about here seems good. Maybe a little more, hold on, a little more. Let's go right there. Okay. And Fusion will tell you if it's too large, like if it won't wrap or it'll overlap too many times, it won't let you do it. So it's going to be really just a resize game. So I'm going to hit finish sketch. And what we're going to do is emboss the image onto the cylinder. So if I hit the S key and then type in EM for emboss, we're going to select the cracks here, not the stones. We're going to select the cracks. And you want, for effect over here, you want to make sure you have deboss selected. And then for faces, we're going to select our cylinder. Give it a moment. And now you can see it's actually coming out on the cylinder right here. So for the depth, I already have it assigned to 0.30 millimeters. I think that's good enough for me. You guys can play with that and do what you want with that. But I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And when it's done, it should look a little something like this. Now, it's only over half of our cylinder. We want to get it around the whole thing. So what we can do is go to Create, go down to the bottom where it says Pattern, and select Circular Pattern. Now for Object Type over here, where it says Bodies, we want it to make it say Features. And for the object, down in the corner here where it says Emboss, where we actually did this in our timeline, you can select that. And then for the axis, we're going to select the outer rim of our cylinder. This will start making it go all the way around. It says the quantity is at 4. I don't think we need that. Let's try 2. That looks pretty good. And then we'll hit OK and see what it looks like. And overall, it's pretty good. You can see we kind of have a seam right here, but I'm not worried about that. We can hide that later. But the overall texture is pretty good. This one too. So we got 2 seams. Not too bad. What we're going to do next is make it look a little more like a castle. So let's go to the front view. And we're going to create a new sketch on the front plane. And we're going to do a 2-point rectangle, and it's going to be 7 millimeters in length. And let's do 9 millimeters wide. Hit OK. We're going to hit E to extrude, and we'll do 10 millimeters. Now let's get a top-down view here. We're going to hit the S key again, hit A, and we're going to look for a line. Select the top box, and then select the top of your cylinder. Should be nice and flush at the top of the model. And what we can do is hit the E key, and we're going to extrude this box until it comes all the way out here. And in the corner where it says operations, you have join. We're going to select cut and hit OK. And this will give us that rough top of a castle vibe. Well, what we can do is use the circular pattern again. So let's go to create, pattern, circular pattern. And we already have it on features. We're going to select our extrude that we just did in the timeline. Select the axis, which will be the rim of the cylinder. And then you can split it up as much as you want. So let's say I want 12. Let's go at 12. Hit OK. And now it's looking more like a castle. So I'm going to hide this body here. Which one is this? Looking pretty good, but it's see-through. So we're going to actually close this up now as well. So let's go to the top-down view. Go to create a new sketch. From the top view, we're going to do a circle. And we're going to make it, I believe, 80 millimeters is what we used. And let's extrude it by 10 millimeters. Now if we go to the bottom, that's kind of what we'll be capping it with underneath. So if I hit S, A, and go to align, select this object to this object. Oh, if it lets me. There it is. Hit OK. And we're going to combine it. So right here up top where it says combine, we're going to select our two pieces. Hit OK. And here we are. Now, there's one thing you could do here. You can either leave it as is if you're fine with this bowl shape, or you can make it more of a cylinder. So if we hit Q, this is the press and pull tool, and we'll grab the edge right here, and let's do 40 millimeters. That'll actually make it a nice little cylinder here. You can play with that, make it whatever you want it to look like here, but I think that's pretty good. But now, yeah, it's looking like a castle. The only thing we're going to do now is make the mini towers that go off to the side. So let's get that top-down view again. And it's going to be literally the same exact thing. So let's go to create, new sketch, top view. We're going to do a circle. These are smaller towers. So let's say it's 20 millimeters. We want to give it some wall thickness here. So let's make another one for 30 millimeters since it's kind of smaller. And we want it taller than the actual castle. So let's extrude it to be 60 millimeters. And now that's the rough length I think it'll be. It looks pretty good. And we're going to add that SVG to it. So let's go to Insert, go to SVG, Insert from my computer, File SVG, and this is that stone wrap again. So let's move this over, and we're going to try resizing this again. So let's go down and see if we can get a good shot here. This one, I think that should be good. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Give it a moment. Then finish the sketch. Hit S, type in EM for emboss. Select the cracks. For your faces, you're going to select the cylinder. Make sure it's on Deboss, not Emboss. And give it a moment. And honestly, we might not have to use a circular pattern on this one because I got it pretty close to being one full wrap. Let's go ahead and hit OK here. I think we're going to have a small seam on this one too, but that's fine. We can hide that. Looks like it's taking a second to compute. All right. And I think that looks pretty good. Again, we have the seam right here and we have another seam right here. So we'll hide those shortly. Let's make the top of this have this kind of effect as well. So let's open up that little box that we hit earlier. You can hit S and A, go to align, take the box, bring it over to the cylinder, hit OK. Extrude the box. Make sure the operation is set to cut. Hit OK. We're going to use the pattern tool one more time. So go to create, pattern, circular pattern. Make sure it's on features. Select your extrude. And then your axis should be the rim of the cylinder. And we're not going to do 12 this time. We're going to do 4. And then we'll hide that body again. And that's looking pretty good. And the next thing will be to fill this, just like we did with the last one. Let's go to create a new sketch. Top field. I'm going to do a circle. This one was 20 millimeters. And now before we do anything here, I want to know the length. So if we hit the I key, we can actually measure from this point all the way to the bottom. And it's about 53 millimeters. And I want a little gap to be on the inside. So I think I'm going to make the circle 50 millimeters. I'm going to shave off 3 millimeters. So let's close this out. Hit extrude. So that'd be the E key. We'll do 50 millimeters. Go underneath it. And we're going to align it. So S and A, go to align. Hit OK. Go to the combine tool, grab both of them. And that's looking pretty good. So now what we can do is position the seams into place so we don't really have to look at them. Go to the top view, hit the M key so you can go to move, and then just kind of position it to where it needs to be. Let's see, seam, I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna have to rotate this. I think that'll be this one here. There's the seam. And what I'm gonna do is match up these 2 points and these 2 points. So I'll probably rotate it a little more. Get that top down view again. See if I can just kind of slide this into it. Rotate it a little more. And I think that might be good. Let's take a look at it. Hit OK. Even on the bottom. The seam is now hidden on both sides. And I think it looks pretty good. If anything, you could probably go in just a little bit more. So I'm gonna hit the M key. And I'm gonna go in just a little. That's a little too much. A little bit more. Hit OK. And let's check that out again. Not too bad. I think it looks pretty good. And before we do the same thing, because we're obviously not going to create the tower 4 times, we're going to do the circular pattern with the tower. But I think we should add a window into this. And that's pretty easy. So if we go to the front view, we can go to create new sketch. We're going to do this field here right in front of the castle. And we're going to create a line from right up top. So let's start here. And we're going to go over, let's say 16 millimeters. After that first line, we can make the 2 bodies invisible just for a second. Let's create another line. We're going to go up the left side. We'll make this one 18 millimeters. And we'll take another line and we'll go halfway through that bottom line, raise it up. Let's say 31 millimeters. And now let's go to create again. And we're going to grab an arc, a 3-point arc. We're going to select this left point and this right point. And now if I zoom in, you can actually see the curvature that I can do for the window. So if you want a nice pointy window, you can leave it like that or drag it over a little bit. You can have a slightly rounded curve. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to just click in there. You can see we have half of it. So what we can do is the mirror tool, and that'll give us the other half. So select mirror, and we're going to select our sides here. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to worry about the bottom. And then for mirror line, you're just going to select this middle one. And boom. So now we have our rough shapes. Hit OK. We don't need this middle line anymore. We can hit delete. This was just kind of a reference point so we can get the look that we have here. And voila, we have that medieval castle look. So hit the E key to extrude, do 5 millimeters. And this is what we got. Let's turn our bodies back on so we can see. And we'll move the window into place. Hit the M key, slide the window over. It's obviously way too big, so we're gonna have to resize it. Hit the S key again, and go to scale. And I don't know, let's do 0.5. Looks pretty good. And let's see if we can move this in a good spot. Let's do front view just to make sure it's going where I want it to go. Hit move. Probably something like that. And let's go top down view. We're going to move it inwards. And what we're going to do is give just like a little impression on the side. We don't want to go too deep. That might not be enough. I mean, we could try it and see where it goes. Nah, it doesn't look like it's enough. Let's go in just a little more. Instead of 50, let's make this, I don't know, 20. You guys can be the judge of how far it goes in there. So now let's back up. We're going to hit the combine tool, select the castle and then the window. We're going to go for the operation, make it cut. And you can see right here that the rock pattern is still visible, which means we didn't go in enough with our extrude. So let's hit cancel. And I didn't mean to say extrude, I meant our movement here. So we're gonna have to move this in just a little bit more. Gonna go backwards. That's -1 millimeter. I don't think we have to go back that far. So let's do negative 0.30. Then we'll try this again. So let's combine, castle window, hit cut, hit OK. And you can still see right here that we didn't go in deep enough because we still have these grooves. We'll go back, hit undo. That would be Control Z. We're going to do this again even more. I guess maybe we will do the 0.50. So negative 0.50. And let's make sure we're still, see, it's not even centered on the top anymore. So let's move this over. It doesn't look too bad. Make it 120. 30. All right, that looks fair. And let's try this again. Combine, castle window, hit cut. And this time we don't have the grooves into there. I think it looks pretty good. Now what we can do is go up to the edge here, hit the I key, and select these 2 points. And you can tell this is 0.921 millimeters, so not even a full millimeter. I don't think we'll have a problem 3D printing that, but hit close and see how it looks from afar now. And honestly, I think that looks pretty good. So what we can do now is go to create. We're going to go to pattern, circular pattern. For object type, you're going to hit bodies. You're going to select our tower, select the axis, and then the castle rim. It's already pre-selecting 4, and I think that's pretty good. Hit OK and just give it a moment. And now we have our 4 castle towers. I think it looks pretty good. And all those seams are hidden too. Overall, I think that looks pretty well. We have the front view here. One thing I'm going to adjust, since this is the front, I don't like how it's not really showing the front of the castle. It's showing the front of the tower. So I'm going to spin it just a little. Oh, wrong thing to spin. Let's go ahead and combine this. I forgot to do that. So hit combine, select all your towers. Now would be a good time for this. Make sure you hit join, not cut. Hit OK. Now we should be able to move the whole thing. Much better. So the last thing that I think is missing from this is we're going to add a nice little door to the front. So we have our castle, we have the top looking good, we have our towers, we have windows, and the door will be the last thing. So what I'm going to do here, we can't do the same trick where we get the SVG and then emboss it or deboss it into the front, because now our wall here isn't flat, so it's going to come out not even. So what we're going to do is put it on a flat object and then transfer it over, which is pretty easy. So we're on the front right here. I'm going to back up just a smidge. We're going to go to create a new sketch from the front plane, and we're just going to eyeball this. We're going to do a 2-point rectangle, and we're going to guess pretty much from here to here. We're going to go underneath this part. We don't want it to be too big. I'm going to do it off to the side. I would say that looks pretty fair. So let's do that. And we're going to press the E key and extrude it by 2 millimeters. Take a look at it. We're going to select the body, hold down the control key and hit C, and then control key, hit V. This will make 2, basically copy paste. Pull that out. And I'm going to make this one 90 degrees. Hit OK. And then we're going to extrude this by 5 millimeters, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a moment. But that's all we're doing with these blocks. Next, we're going to go to Insert, SVG. Insert from my computer. we're going to go to the stone door frame SVG. And we're going to do the front plane here. And you can see it came in, the actual image is upside down, so you can go over here and hit vertical flip. And then resize the image so it's a lot smaller. And we're going to scale it pretty much onto that wall that we made. We have to shrink it a little bit more. Not too bad though. I think that looks pretty good. So we can hit OK and give it a moment to compute. And then we can go over to Finish Sketch. Then we're going to hit the E key to extrude. Actually, give it a moment. It looks like it's not done finishing the sketch yet. Okay, then the E key to extrude. We're going to select our sketch. And let's do 5 millimeters. Oh, it looks like it cut 5 millimeters. So let's do -5 to make it come outwards. Hit OK. So now we zoom in. We have our rough shape of the door frame. The reason why we have this block is because these are uneven at the bottom, and we want it to be nice and even with the castle floor. So we're just basically using this block as a cutting tool. So I'm going to hit M, hit this block, and we're going to slide this over. We can decide how far or how little we want this to go, but honestly, I think it might be good where it is. So I'm going to hit the OK key. We're going to hit Combine. Select the door frame, select the block, go to cut, and boom, now it's nice and flat on the bottom. And what we're going to do is make sure we have a bit of a door in here. So we're going to hit the Q tool for press and pull. And we're going to go out 4 millimeters, which should leave us a 1 millimeter gap here at the top of the door. And then on the back of the block, you can hit E for extrude, go in a little bit until it just erases the whole block. And now we have a little door frame. So what we can do with this, let's go underneath it, hit S, A to align it, select the bottom, select this piece right here, and boom, aligned. And pretty good if I say so myself. One thing we will do, looks like we're gonna have to rotate it a little bit. So let's hit OK. Give it a moment, hit the M key, rotate the door a little bit. It's a little too much. Might have to go over, then rotate. 5 degrees is a little too much. What about 2 degrees? 1 degree? Honestly, 1 degree looks like it might be it. And let's take a look at what we got. So honestly, not too bad. I could actually, if anything, if I'm being nitpicky, I can bring the door in a little bit more. And there we go. Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and combine the door now. Let's go to combine again, select the castle, select the door, hit join, not cut. And now we have one solid piece. The last thing we're going to do is engrave, and I'm going to show you guys a cool website. So let's head over to the browser real fast. And we have this website right here, Google font to SVG path. And you can select pretty much any font that you want, or if you want to browse fonts by their style, you can hit this right here and look for whatever you specifically want. But let's go ahead and go back. And I already have dancing script selected, so this is the one that I like. Type in whatever you want. This castle is going to be Castle Dankenstein. And when you're done, you can go to download SVG. Head back over to our model, go to the bottom here. Insert SVG. Castle Dankenstein. Bottom plane. We can do a vertical flip. Next thing would be to resize it. So let's go here. I think that looks pretty good. Probably make it a little bigger. Go over just a little bit more. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with the rock texture. So we're going to emboss it. So S, hit EM, emboss. And this one we're going to have to individually click things here. So C, A, I'm not going to be doing the middle. So like if I'm doing the E, I'm not going to do the circle inside of the E. Might take me a moment here to go through this. And when it's done, you should be able to select faces, select the castle. Make sure Deboss is selected. I'm going to do the same amount as before with the 0.30. Hit OK. And there it is. Now you have your model engraved. So that's pretty much it for making the model. Now let's send it over to the printer and we'll see how it comes out. All right, so overall, it looks pretty good. I think the 0.30 deboss for the cracks was the right move. Everything else feels pretty solid though. The stones on the top are looking pretty good. The engrave looks pretty good. I can't really complain. So I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. If you guys have any issues, leave me a comment down below and I'll try my best to help you out. But I guess I'll see you guys next time.